Hey, Wanye. Hey, come on. Why?
Felicia, what's your biggest fear?
The biggest
A daily boom power we have.
marriage.
No,
Yes.
I think that also true. So I was saying, yeah, need this.
Yeah, you just but maybe also say, what if you fall in love with somebody after you are married? What if you meet somebody else? What about you now? Okodo be where they?
My worry, we feel we share will be a woman and I love at first sight. What?
Yes. What if you cheat in marriage? What causes cheating? Marriage.
Boom.
Nipa ko na ne to na ho flow away den. Marriage na ankasa no.
Nti wo pa de wo worry ana.
Me worry. Eh dia me kon ka fierce no.
Dabe.
Ever in so.
Maybe so. To say the implant trainer na wo mu busu a.
Nkwa captain band I just say. Me panto one ne china.
Wo da there. Wo rebe.
Sape.
Amani mo wo de nyu sa. You jump 20 near day.
What's up worry na o dwene ho. Why dwene ho da? Obe worry no.
Me na busa question ne wa.
Finally, someone has been sell out from the market. So, one company that's on us say no, a free job bonus into no. Most to money show for. I was for a Felicia was say I catch it and I'm no yeah boy eura. It may be a chair moon Felicia was saying, but can't send me. Actually, and say, or no, I do through pan when you are some pan near Vale. Felicia says, my back, you know, say, I do through you are some pan and near Vale. And he says, ah, present time, nah, I was just the honor, then was, now, how near, and say, I could pray one cover, now I really know. As I could show before not fall a money per corner, and only a man fear to her. I'm a bad judge. I said, media no do obia can I bring fast that this same issue. I was not for, and that's all yes, if Felicia say, fear no say, Ira, and then the wallet. Then cover while the crowd boy and Kai and Kai is so I. Yet she more you, none case you slow. Yes, you saying that you free movie. Felicia sang can't fear and trade. No cover Sana Carter so be ye and sa no de be ye or the ben name mu or be worry or bad ye we work for about one in there and go for top ayi aponchi for to for kuyukura for kwe ai Carter de wo sa no so o so kwachine there masa yo Felicia says more can see the biggest fear me kono feel about there so that the 9 days of some ko pebisa na abusafo efe akono to so wa fe say the sister Felicia say ne ho akono na ne ho sisi ne ho susu pa na ye de wenge hye ne nse na awurade afra na se me kama ye de brade ase ya ma big congrats to your new home awurade nhyira wo no ma so no ma kese na the most abusum yam be bia na awurade na ngasa on tretre mu because a long journey na wokɔ no awurade nka ho na onyi fie no so ɛmfiri hɔ na kɔkɔ w'anim Felicia sɛ abusuafoɔ yɛ nyinaa yɛn wish no a big congrats on her new home na wobɔ mpaeɛ bi bɔ a na wabɔ ataa n'akyi because awareɛ mu nsɛm no deɛ mu agyina aha yɛ Ghcelebs TV mɛsɛ sɛ na de ka picture no so ɛne deɛ ma no ma subscribe no I share link to some of us so inside Akabi. Said they are burning a Benamoyan and Madam Macram.
14 days. I'll be done with appointments of my cabinet. Take your pen and paper, check it. President Mahama says within 120 days, I'll scrap the Burton tax, I'll scrap e-levy, I'll scrap the emission levy, and many other, unnecessary taxes. Once we do that, check it. And so there are many promises we are done within 120 days that I think the Ghanaian people should take their papers and they should start checking. Once we do it, it means President Mahama is truthful. Once we do it, he's truthful. And that's the future of this country.
Indeed, on the campaign platform, you on your motorbike, even in the rains, was a sight to behold. It looks like the issue of the betting tax and then the e-levy are very dear to the heart of young people, especially those who are investing in cryptos, those who tend to do a lot of work electronically, etc. Why should that be an immediate assignment within the 120 days?
I mean, because...
And how did that resonate with the feedback you got on the campaign platforms?
It's important we do that within 120 days because it was a matter of high interest to the Ghanaian youth. We listened to them. Our manifesto was a people's manifesto. We didn't sit in a room or a kitchen to draft our manifesto. You remember that some of the promises Baumia made did not resonate with the Ghanaian youth. Said, we'll give you iPhone, you pay 1 cedi, 2 cedi, 1 cedi, 2 cedi. The Ghanaian youth said that was not what we wanted. And so we listened to the Ghanaian people and we understood what they wanted. The Ghanaian people said, clear the 10% bed tax. It is unnecessary. We said, we'll do it for you. The Ghanaian people said, COVID levy, we are out of COVID. Why is the levy still on our cost build-up? We said, we'll do it for you. The Ghanaian people said, take away the emission levy. We said, we'll do it for you. And so we think that issues that are of high interest and issues the Ghanaian people had asked us to do, of which we agreed we're going to do, ought to be followed and ought to be complied with. And that is what builds a very good, trustworthy economy. And that's what makes the Ghanaian people have full confidence in you. If you say one thing and you do another, you break your government. If you say it and you do it, the Ghanaian people appreciate what you've done. Because, we're going to run this country with a manifesto. And everything we're going to be reading, our budget statements, are going to come from promises and assurances we made from our manifesto. So we have the Jumapa. President Mahama stated that within 120 days, it will reflect in our first budget. That makes sense to the Ghanaian people. And Ghanaians are going to mark us based on our manifesto promises. Along the line, there could be new things that we'll be confronted with that we need to, address, even though it may not be in our manifesto. Those are excesses. Those are things we could tackle. But on the straight road, we should go with our manifesto and we should do as it says.
You've taken upon yourself, right from the campaign up to today, Operation Recover or Loot. Why have you made it a personal mantra and a battle? Why don't you leave it to the government?
First of all, Roland, I hate corruption. Not just corruption, but causing high financial loss to the states. I believe that corrupt money could be used to do a lot for this country. $58 million was used to sink a hole. $58 million could have provided a school for people in Salganov. It could have completed the E-block in Salganov. It could have provided a clinic for the people in Boko. It could have provided a hospital for the people in the Savannah region. That's so much of money to be used just to sink a hole. That has become the world's most expensive hole. An architect who just drew the plan, of course, that shouldn't have even taken more than 10 million, was paid 125 million within 1 week after completion. Yet, our renal unit needed only 2 million. The government said they didn't have money. We lost more than 5 people as a result of that. Old men who had lived responsible lives, stored their monies in bonds, and wanted to enjoy in retirement. Their monies were restructured. The CEO of the Karma Group said he had become an irresponsible man, all because he couldn't get access to his pensions. Yet, huge sums of monies have gone down the drains in corruption. £14,000 an hour was used to fly a private jet around in this country. Our president was bathing and whining and dining in the sky when people were suffering, people were struggling. The National Cathedral, same National Cathedral, that is still a hole, has a CEO that is being paid a gross salary of 28,000 Ghana cedis every month. It has a board that is being paid 22,000 Ghana cedis every month. A hole. CEO of Keta Port. The Keta Port is just a signboard. Yet Mr. Akufo-Addo has appointed a CEO who takes a salary every month. The Bank of Ghana wasted over 77 billion, just printed, without recourse to law, without taking it to parliament, and with so many breaches. At the end of the day, that money was recklessly spent in the economy. You know what it did against the Ghanaian people? It caused hyperinflation in this country because the top level had so much money, there was so much money in the system, but the people of the middle class and the lower level did not have access to that money. So the inflation was hitting our heads. With our mega salary, we couldn't buy anything again. And so, Roland, corruption is a canker. And all Ghanaian people stand against corruption, no matter how it looks like. And I felt that, look, of all the works we have done, if we don't fight corruption, we'll move forward and move backwards. And so we cannot also let all the monies that have been stolen go down the drains. If that happens, every government will come, steal money, go out of office. The next government will come, steal money, go out of office. If we don't institute accountability, where people stand accountable for all the monies they have stolen, future governments will come, spend the monies, and they will leave office.
You seem to be very passionate about it.
I'm very passionate because I know that if we retrieve $58 million that was used to sink a hole, we'll be able to build schools, we'll be able to build hospitals, we'll be able to build roads, and we'll be able to create jobs for the Ghanaian youth. I'm very passionate because I know that if we're able to retrieve all the stolen and earned salaries that we paid, all the cash, the monies, including state lands and properties, if we're able to retrieve all that, we'll be able to do a lot for the people of this country. Government lands have been shared like granules. Today, I know a woman, look, and this is a very sad story. A woman who was living in a government bungalow in Tamale. She works in a government institution. One day she came back from work and they had poured a strip of sand on her yard. And she said, what is happening here? Then somebody appears and says, the land belongs to me together with your house. So you need to leave the house within the next 1 week because I want to bring the house down and build my building. A woman in Tamale staying in a government bungalow. That bungalow was sold together with the land. Why will you do this to your fellow human being? Why will you do this to a government official who is living in a government bungalow? All because you are quick to share things. Just 3 days ago, when the government lost the election, they decided to start auctioning vehicles. I have a whole list of government vehicles that have been quickly auctioned to people.
Already?
Already. I have a list on my phone. They've been valued. They've been auctioned, a Toyota Prado, to more than 50 vehicles. Quickly auctioned to family and friends. They'll be retrieved. Because you cannot quickly auction people's cars to people and just allow it go down the drains. Look, in this country, today you import goods, and even before it hits them rich, they're already on your neck because they want to seize your goods and auction it to their own people. Why do you do this to Ghanaians? Why do you do this to innocent importers who bring their commodities into this country and want to sell and make a living? And so, this government has been wicked to the Ghanaian people, no matter how you look at it. They have stolen, they have mismanaged the economy, they've led us into a ditch, and they still have the effrontery to still speak and tease us in our faces. And then you come before us again and you come to joke with us and think, Ghanaians, we're going to forgive you for all the things you were doing. And so, Roland, Operation Return All the Loot, I'm passionate about it. I feel people must be held accountable, and not just persons from the MPP, but even persons from the NDC who decide to misappropriate funds. If President Mahama appoints you, and let me sound that caution, and you come into office and you loot, we would bring you out of your office and hold you accountable. We will let the laws deal with you. President Mahama has said it, and we'll rehash it. This is not a man who is going to tolerate a single iota of corruption under his government. President Mahama will never be called the mother serpent of corruption. He's going to fight corruption, he's going to face it head on, and he's demonstrated that before, and he will repeat it. If you know you are coming to work under President Mahama's administration, and the intention is to come and loot, create loot and share, then please, you better wait. That administration has passed. It's about leaving office. You better wait for maybe after 50